Well, hello and welcome to the Beyond Average Journeys of Growth and Increasing Value interview series. And I'm your host, Kristen Carlson. And today I'm joined by Michael Geyer. He's the president of Exceptional Water Systems in Mesa, Arizona. He's also part of my family. He's my cousin. And so we're so proud of him and his wife, Allie, for the impact they're making on the world. So I'm excited for him to share that with you. So, Michael, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So can you just share a little bit about your background and your business with us?
Yeah, I started in basically commercial pool industry is what got me into the whole water thing. But over time, I started in commercial swimming pools and so forth. Kind of learned a little bit about water and so forth, and I realized that swimming pools were really tough to manage in a sense. So without getting too deep and technical with it, but nonetheless, really enjoyed the business and so forth. But the thing I really enjoyed the most was learning about water. So what got me into this my current business is learning more about water in general. So learning the chemistry and so forth behind it. And then once you learn the chemistry, uh, part of the chemistry, I'll say, because the chemistry is like never ending. Uh, Once I started learning about that, then I learned more of the characteristics of water, which is again never ending. So that's kind of what got me into the industry is starting into the commercial side of things. And now we do both commercial and residential type systems and so forth.
Awesome. So how would you describe your business today? What is Exceptional Water Systems?
Ah, good question. Good question. Um, Exceptional water systems, we basically develop systems and we are utilizing ultrafine bubble technology or nanotechnology is what it's known as. And we utilize natural elements to balance water. So, not any chemicals. We try to keep chemistry to a minimal or non existent. But basically, what we do is we take and we diffuse these different elements into the water, which completely change the characteristics of the water. So, we design systems for just about everything, anything that touches water, whether it's swimming pools and spas. We do drinking water. Do we do therapy water? We do hot tubs. We do hot springs. We do agriculture. We do wastewater treatment. All sorts of different lakes and ponds, oceans. Pretty much anything that deals with water. But our goal is to learn the incoming water. So obviously all water is not created equal. So first we always try to learn what the water is coming in, learn more about it, different characteristics of that, and then we decide how we're going to treat it. Because not always does the water need to be treated at a full level as some other places might be. If it doesn't have as many contaminants in it and so forth, we only focus on what is not supposed to be in the water rather than just wipe it out of all everything that's good. So so we really dissect water down to the last to the quantum physics level and really try to understand what you're using it for and where you want to go with it. And then, of course, understanding is it still safe when it's done? So what's the outcome at the very end of that as well?
Wow, thank you. So what inspired you to start this business and what was that initial spark that led you to take on the entrepreneurial journey here?
You know, funny enough, but it started way back before even this. So I used to actually work in banking. And one of the things I really enjoyed was just helping people in general. And when I started in this business, so obviously I moved on from banking, and I was always searching for something that I could actually help people, and that would be great for that. And I will say it did come through prayer, and I prayed about it, and I got exactly what I asked for. So I wanted products that I could use worldwide that would actually help people on numerous levels. And once I did that back in 2011, um, I received confirmation that it was time to start my business. And once I got that confirmation, I just started moving forward. My company started growing very rapid rate. It was like doubling in size almost every year. Of course, that was me running it, and then had to get more people to come in and help me. But I just really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the time and everything. Um, um, Learning, the level of learning on this was just it's incredible. I mean, I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent there, but the uh the level of learning on water is literally endless. It is absolutely endless. And once I realized that, I'm like, this is a lifelong thing that I'll do. I'll never learn everything there is to know about water because it's just so vast.
Awesome. It's fun to be in a field where there's this constant challenge, constant learning,
Oh,
evolving.
yeah, it gets to a point, I'll be honest, it gets to a point where when somebody asks me a question about something different, I almost I almost don't want to hear it because it's like I know that my brain starts working and it's like, oh my gosh, but the amount of things you need to understand in each field are completely different. A lot of times they're completely different from any other field that you're working in. So it is amazing to really even think that there's that many differences. But when you really break it down, most people just look at water as it's just water, it's wet and take a shower, we drink it. Yeah. No, it's way, way more than that. The characteristics, how you can change it, how you need to change it to get it from one point to the next, processing, all these different things. And when we started into our technology, it was it was mind blowing. It was absolutely mind blowing. We started understanding what these tiny bubbles would do, or they're more or less they're called nanoparticles. But started finding out more and more of what these particles do, and it's just endless. It's just amazing what they can do.
And I think what you've discovered, your business has now evolved into multiple businesses, right? It's just exploded.
Yes. So we've got a very large platform, and we're continuing to develop that. We're getting people in that really have the heart for it. So, and I say that openly, it's not about the money, it's about the heart. We want people that want to make a difference, want to go out and be able to do things for others and so forth. It's a completely different mindset. And you'll know who those people are really quick. It's
Right.
very easy to point them out at some point. Um, but the people that we've had in here have been absolutely amazing to work with. They're just wonderful people. And out of anything that I do, I think that's probably the funnest part of coming to work. I don't ever dread coming to work ever. For all the years I've been coming, I absolutely love coming. I don't like paperwork and stuff, but who does? So,
So,
but but the learning side of it, it's just yeah. I
and your
that
passion to make a difference, right? And to really
Oh,
impact
absolutely.
people in the
There's
world.
nothing there's nothing greater when you give somebody hope. And
You've given a lot of people hope. You've given a lot of people hope. So thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
yeah, there's numerous people that have come into our facility over the years and basically with just lost hope. They've given up on modern medicine and so forth. And to see and hear the outcome of what they get for coming in here and being open to that. So we have a a spa in here with just oxygen, etc. There's just natural elements. And to see these people come in with complete lost hope it's just heart-wrenching. But to see the change in their life is priceless. And I don't think there's anything better than that. To see that you can actually change somebody's life for the better and you give them hope. It's like, I think that's the greatest thing that anybody can give another human being.
Yeah, that's the mic drop. Not, not you, Mike, but a Mike. So,
Yeah.
so with the amazing growth you've had, I mean, how do you fit in work-life balance or being the owner here? How does that work for you?
It is, I'll say in the beginning was probably really difficult. And as we start growing, um, it's about enabling others to really carry the torch and run in different directions. My job is to help with every um, section of the business that I can, learning, understanding, designing, understanding where they wanting to go and so forth. And then we having our, for say, I call them disciples in these different arenas where they go out and they service those different arenas. And the easiest way for me is first off is every day I do something I enjoy, which is first thing in the morning is exercise. I do cold plunge first thing, 45 degrees, very cold, but it's wonderful. So I start my day 4:30 in the morning,
God.
and every day I do a cold plunge, but it really helps me awake and helps with your immunity. I look at health and wellness as number one first because otherwise I would never do it, and my health would obviously very well suffer from that. So, um, my mornings are my first part of every day, what I really enjoy. So I go through exercise and so forth, and then I start my day. So it's my enjoyment, it's my Zen time, it's the time that I need, and then I carry on my day for that. But it's still tough, trying to deal with everyday emergencies and so forth, and then still trying to design and build and figure out water issues and so forth. I mean, yeah, it comes at you like a fire hose, I'll say. So, but I only take in what I can. I try not to stress over different things because I doesn't do you any good. So my stress level, I've learned over the years to just kind of brush it off, It's like control what you can, and the other you can't control it. There's no use to worry about it because it's not going to get you anywhere. So that's kind of essentially what I do. I do a lot of delegating so, of different things because you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I would never sleep. I would never
Mhm.
sleep. So, and I
Excellent.
don't get enough sleep as it is. So I can't I can't sacrifice any more sleep.
Well, that's a great leadership skill. So it's awesome that you have help and that you take care of yourself first, right? Because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with your evolving business landscape, how do you stay adaptable and open to change?
Oh my goodness. Um, I think we are the meaning of adaptable. So it, you know what? There's never a point in our business over the last even 5 to 10 years where it hasn't changed and been adaptable. We continuously adapt. We are the adapters. We are the change in almost, and I'm not saying it arrogantly. There's so many different things to understand in when it comes to water and treatment and our technology, because you're dealing with things that most people don't really understand. Like I said before, we work with NASA, and NASA doesn't have an answer for us, so it's like, okay, well, here we go. So you're supposed to say, what's the saying there? It's like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Well, it takes more than rocket
Yeah.
scientists to figure it out, I guess. So, and it's just unexplained things that science can't explain and so forth. And when we're dealing with that level of a element. I don't necessarily have the answer, but we continually push and we find more and more people who can find just even one piece of the puzzle. And it's a very, very large puzzle. But if one person at one point in time, whether he's here or across the world, can provide that one piece, that's at least one step closer to getting to where we need to go. So, and that's kind of all I've ever done over the years. Everything I've built up, it's just been one piece at a time. It's never, almost never come from the same industry. It's always these off the wall industries or physicists or doctors and so forth that have given us just one more piece of the puzzle, and we kind of slowly piece it together to fully understand what we're working with and how to work with it moving forward. So,
So you're really an industry disruptor, right? I mean, you're
oh, absolutely,
constantly innovating every single day.
absolutely, absolutely. It never ends.
Awesome.
Yeah. We've got so many irons in the fire, different levels of different things. It's just, yeah, it's incredible. But again, I will hand it. It's not about just us. It's the people we work with. So we have great innovators. We have great people that we work with, and hands down, I give them kudos for the information and the things that we discover. All of those little pieces again help us understand how to build our systems better for the next generation. Most of the time people find, and this is not, it's not like it's a bad thing, you build your iPhone 1, right, and they run with it, we constantly are improving on product line and so forth. And it's not about, you do have to have money for building your business and so forth. But if you can make changes as you go along, small changes, and being the manufacturer, we have that ability to do that, which is great. So we can make these minor changes as we go along. So that iPhone 1 becomes iPhone 1.5, 2, 3, etc., very quickly, so we can integrate those different things relatively fast into our production line without having to just kind of let it continue go out and so forth as an old model. So that, if that makes sense.
Right. And it seems like you are willing to open up and share with people across the world so you can help, that can help innovate, right? And help learn
Correct.
from each other so you can make it even better. And
Correct.
that's a huge win and learning from a leadership perspective, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to hold it tight to yourself, but once you share and give it away, it just comes back
Yeah.
full,
Yeah.
right? Or a
Yeah.
hundredfold.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of understanding. So any of our new clients, I mean, literally, we got to ask hundreds of questions as to what it is, how it is, and it's not, sometimes even the client really doesn't 100% understand everything that's happening in their processing, which I don't either. But it's understanding that to the nth degree, really, really getting down to the nit gritty of it and looking at um, numerous angles, energy consumption, the benefit of using the water. What's the water quality like when it starts? What's the water quality what's after? Are there any other adverse effects? Are there any other ways that they're going to save money by utilizing this? Is there any other ways they can utilize their savings for something else, part of their process and so forth? So there's just numerous different levels to look at every time you touch something new, and
Wow.
we learn from it. So, and we might even use part of that process in another industry because it works so well.
Right. So it sounds like constant innovation.
Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah. So to wrap up, what advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur who's just starting their journey and facing the
Mm.
challenges of starting a business?
um I would say probably the first and foremost is the passion for what you do. Number one, never give up on your passion of what you really enjoy doing. Um, and not all industries are quite the same, but you can become be that tradesman, be that craftsman in there. Do the best job you can at whatever that single item is, and you just you hammer that to oblivion and you just become the best person you can at that. Um, Always have gratitude. Gratitude is really, really important for no matter how many jobs you get, opportunities you get, being grateful for those is really, and letting your customers even know that that's a big thing. For us, it's always being very grateful for everything that we do. But at the top of the list for everything is just having the integrity of working with people around you. Be open to advisors, numerous advisors. Don't go in thinking you know everything. Be open to change. Be open for discussions on new ways of doing things. I think a lot of people fail for not really opening their minds up more and seeing that, hey, there might be a better way, an easier way to do things, a more efficient way of doing things. But those would probably be some of the main things that I would look at. And again, always find something that you love doing every day and do it.
Exactly.
Don't vary from it. And as you get going, yeah, business gets busy and so forth. But once you start missing that, I know lots of business people that have numerous health problems. And why does that come? Stress. They never take the time. They don't get enough sleep. And if you're stressed out when you're doing business, you're doing something wrong. You shouldn't. I'm kind of open to that. So obviously, I get stressed out at times too, but it shouldn't be that stressful. It shouldn't be. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your family and so forth. Hopefully, you're doing it for others to help benefit them. So think of a way to do it without being so stressed out. Because I wouldn't do it if I was stressed.
Right.
Certain things I'll stress over, but it's only because I've got.
You got a world to change.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
And you have a huge heart.
I think the thing that stresses me out more is I would say finding finding a solution for that person that's suffering from something. So,
Well,
and
thank you.
then not being able to find it. So, yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for all you are doing. And congratulations on building this great business that just keeps continuing to evolve. So, and we really appreciate you joining us today. And best
Thank you.
wishes
No,
for
it was great.
2025.
What's that?
Best wishes for 2025
Yes,
for you and your
yes,
business. Awesome.
yes.
Thank you, Michael.
We're looking for a beautiful 2025 indeed.
Awesome. All right. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Chris, for having me.